Good morning, guys. Tony here. In this video, I want to talk about collecting the coinsurance and the deductibles at the time of service according to Medicare. Now, I'm the first one to raise my hand to say I am not always right. But if I'm not right, I want to find the resource because generally speaking, I'm going to do my best. And my commitment to you is never to state something as fact unless I have a reference behind it. So I was recently told that it is not allowable to collect a coinsurance or a Medicare deductible at the time of service, even if you know that it is due. So classic example, if a patient has Medicare as a primary, Medicare Part B, but does not have a secondary supplemental plan, I collect the 20% at the time of service. I estimate the 20% allowed amount based on the Medicare physician fee schedule. And then if I have the calculations at hand for MPPR and when sequestration is in effect, I'll add those on because I want to collect as close to the penny as possible. I certainly don't want a shortfall. And if I do over collect by any chance, I issue a refund as soon as the EOB processes. But I, want to do my best to play by the rules. And here is the best information I can find to support the case. Now, this specifically is Chapter 2, Medicare Claims Processing Manual. Chapter 2, this was revised March 1st, 2019. This is the most current document I have on hand. And when I look through specifically requiring prepayment as a condition of admission, so providers must not require advance payment of an inpatient deductible or coinsurance as a condition of admission. Additionally, providers may not require the beneficiary prepay any Part B charges as a condition of admission, except where prepayment from non-Medicare patients is required. Now, I can tell you right now, standard policy, published policy, explained to the patient at the initial evaluation, all over-the-counter estimated expenses are collected at the time of service. We do our best as standard policy never to allow a case in which the patient will receive an invoice. We want to collect money at the time of service, and then as soon as the claim processes, if we've over collected, we'll issue a refund. If we've under collected, depending on the agreement, we'll send an invoice. But generally speaking, to the best of our ability, we're going to collect at the time of service. Now, that doesn't mean that we'll deny care. That doesn't mean we're going to tell the patient, no, you can't come unless you pay. But standard policy across all insurance, pay at the time of service if we know the expected patient balance amount. Okay. In such cases, only the deductible coinsurance may be collected. That's all we're talking about. Where the patient does not have Part B entitlement, the provider will follow the rules in 10.6. And then it goes on, when prepayment may be requested, the provider may collect deductible coinsurance only amounts where it appears that the patient will owe deductible coinsurance, and where it's routine and customary policy, which it is, to request similar prepayment for non-Medicare patients, which it is, with similar benefits that leave the patient responsible for the part of the cost of the hospital in admitting and registering patients, yada, yada. So guys, here, as far as I understand, and please, I am open to being corrected. To the best of my ability, the way I understand it is, if I know the client, the patient is going to have or owe a Medicare deductible based on the patient's supplemental plan coverage, or I know that they have a deductible according to the supplemental secondary policy, I'm not arbitrarily just going out and collecting payments from the patient. I'm estimating the exact cost to the best of my ability based on the published fee schedules. I'm checking to verify coverage and the fact that the deductible or coinsurance will be owed. And this is absolutely standard policy across all of our patients, regardless of payer. It's not a Medicare only policy. So If you have any information to the contrary, let me know. But at the end of the day, my philosophy remains. A patient would rather pay you in small chunks at the time of service. And if you over-collect by a couple bucks, they'd rather get a refund, check in the mail, than you not collect. And then after all the EOBs and everything is processed, even though you know the patient's going to owe this amount, you send them a big fat invoice. I don't care how good the service was. It just tends to leave a bad taste in the patient's mouth. And then you have the added cost of following up on the invoice, trying to make the payment collection, like all of this junk. When if you just take the time, understand the Medicare guidelines, look at the physician fee schedule, look up Tool, make your calculated projections, it will save both you and the patient a boatload of headache. Guys, if this all makes sense, please do me a favor, share this video, post your comments on YouTube in YouTube comments, and I'll catch you on the next video.